So, how does it feel to be back in the world of the living? Don't worry. I'm a doctor. Well, a coroner, originally. Call me Dead Man. I'm well acquainted with the dead. Not like you, of course. Contrary to the name, I've never actually died. I would advise against that. I'm no expert, but I can assure you it's for your own protection. See?
So I'm a prisoner.
These aren't handcuffs. They're cutting-edge devices that keep us all connected.
Us? Oh, us.
Yup. Bridges. Humanity's best hope for the future. Or avoiding extinction, if you prefer.
Right. Where am I? What time is it?
Watch me. Try pressing it against your skin, like this. Relax. That just means your body's got a good connection to the cufflink. Look, look. The cuffs will watch over you 24 hours a day. That is to say, we will. We're here to help.
What the hell? 2 days?
During that time, we took the liberty of collecting fluid samples from you. You're a repatriate. That makes you very special.
What happened to the CD guys?
Central Knot was obliterated in the annihilation. Game over, man. Place is a crater. The only ones to get to continue were you, for obvious reasons, and your broken bridge baby.
Is it all right?
It's been marked for disposal. Didn't work anymore. Why keep it? We lost everyone. Not just corpse disposal. My team, HQ, all of Redefort, every soul in Central Knot City. We're at our base, in Capital Knot City now. Or should I say, our new headquarters. Sudbury seemed the logical choice. But our implementation team has been decimated, and there's only so much they can do in 2 days. Things here are a mess. Fortunately, the director and his support team were out of town at the time, so the chain of command remains intact. I hate to do this so soon, but I have a job for you. This stencil is from when you repatriated? What's the other mark from?
A clingy woman in a cave.
I see. Aphenphosmphobia. No wonder you were out there alone, where no one could touch you. I'll try to be more careful, Sam. So, the job is an urgent delivery. I need you to bring the president some morphine.
What president? America's gone. You talking about the mayor of Central Knot?
No, not the mayor. America lives on, Sam. The president is in the final stages of cancer, in critical condition, but there's still time.
Why me?
Look, Sam. Do as I ask, and I promise it will all make sense.
Why don't you do it?
Because I'm not really here. Apologies. This is just a chirogram. And here, come the tears. Allergic reaction to the chiral transmission. I'm actually over in the isolation ward in the big triangle building. Here is the morphine. Bridges hereby enters into a contract with Sam Porter.
Come on, you got morphine there. What's this about? Tell me the truth.
The truth, Sam, is that America's last president wants to see you in person. Are you really about to say no? Very good. I'll see you in the isolation ward.
Beginning scan. Scanning Bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
And welcome back, all of you, to Death Stranding.
Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
Delivery order for Sam Porter Bridges. Request transport of morphine to isolation ward for immediate administration to the president.
You got it, boss. A prospect that I am sure Sam is absolutely thrilled about. I got a feeling that in his mind, these fancy new handcuffs we are equipped with, so to speak, are a little bit more than metaphorical. But who knows? Maybe he'll come to appreciate them after he learn about some of their neat new features.
Check the map on your cufflinks if you're lost, Sam. The isolation word should be pretty obvious. If you're not sure how to get there, you can set markers and draw routes too. Try it out and you'll see what I mean.
And Deadman is correct. If we open up our cufflinks, we can see a actually really detailed topographical map of the entire area. At least everything that's connected to the UCA. If we happen to venture into uncharted territory, we may very well be on our own. But it looks like we're not going to have to do that here, it's just down the street. If we wanted to, we could put down markers on the map, which would then appear physically in the game world to guide us just a little bit better. But given that our objective is in plain sight, I don't think we really need to do that right now. And hey, it's a nice day. Sam's probably got a lot on his mind, given the whole void out thing that happened at the end of the last video. Maybe we'll give him some time to think, to just relax, uninhibited, and uninterrupted.
Sam, your friendly neighborhood deadman here. If you want to confirm you're headed the right way, check your compass. It'll never steer you wrong. Provided you have a destination, that is.
Uninhibited and uninterrupted is what I was going to say. Unfortunately, we are in tutorial land still. We have these binoculars now, which you cannot actually see on Sam at this time, but it's fine, just imagine they're there, which allow us to judge distance a little bit better than our eyeballs can. And if we hover them over markers or objective indicators on our map, they'll give us a perfect representation of the distance and elevation from us. I really like that we have all these fancy tools to allow us to get around easier. Makes you feel a little bit less, I don't know, on your own. If you want to hoof it and plot everything out by hand, manually, you totally can. The game will leave you alone. You don't have to use the markers, but they're there for you if you want them, which I think is really cool.
Central wasn't just home to Bridges HQ. It was also the seat of the Reconstructionist movement. If the president hadn't required special treatment, she would have never left. And if she hadn't, we wouldn't have either.
I do like that Death Stranding gives us all of these proper nouns and it expects us to go along with it without really knowing what most of them mean until we get a chance to have it explained to us. It makes sense, because all of these people, all of these characters, they've been living in this world for who knows how long. So obviously they would know what all of these capitalized words and names actually mean. But us, we're gonna be in the dark a little bit longer. But I like it that way. It adds a little bit of intrigue and mystery to a world that otherwise probably would be a little bit too straightforward if everything were just explained to us Metal Gear Solid style. Now let's get that medicine to the president.
Like I said, her vital signs are all trending the same way.
No chance of a recovery then?
None that I can see. No.
We should start making preparations.
Sam. It's me, Dead Man. Sorry, my mistake. I'm afraid the president's condition has deteriorated. Thank you. This will help to ease the pain. And allow her to speak with you in these final moments.
Her?
The first and last female president of the United States. Surely you remember her. She raised you? You're not exactly dressed for a reunion. Take that off before you come inside.
Oh, perhaps I forgot to mention. The president is our mother. Which complicates things a little bit, I would say. It seems we have an impromptu family reunion on our hands. Which I'm sure, again, Sam is just absolutely overjoyed about. I'm gonna guess he was probably expecting this to be a bit simpler. Death Stranding is not just a video game about delivering boxes. It is about connecting, reconnecting, and rebuilding. And I got a feeling that by the end of this next segment, both you and Sam are gonna understand that pretty well.
That's the president's right-hand man, the director of bridges.
Die Hardman?
Oh, you were with Bridges 1? So, I guess no introductions are necessary.
What's it been, Sam? 10 years? Look at us. A bunch of deathless freaks meeting like this. Yeah, well, good to see you two. President's waiting. It's your mother, Bridget. She's a bit out of it, but I know she'll recognize you.
Madam President, we've brought Sam. We'll leave you two alone.
Sam, I knew you'd come back. Are you doing all right? Yeah, I know you hate me. Amelie.
Amelie?
You remember Amelie went west. Took her 3 years to cross. She's trying to rebuild the country.
Still going on about that, huh?
You're the one I wanted to send, Sam. Time's running out. Help Amelie. She needs you. Together, you can help us reconnect. You can make America whole. Sam, if we don't all come together again, humanity will not survive.
We don't need a country. Not anymore.
We do. Alone, we have no future.
No, America's finished. Bridget, you're the president of jack shit.
Sam, listen to me. Please. So you are willing to help me?
No, I...
I love you, Sam. I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
Madam President! Oh, no.
Doctor, we need your help.
All hands on deck here. Season B fixed. Give me 150 cc's. She's not responding.
Stay with me. Madam President.
This is dropping.
Hold on.
We're losing her. I'm a death.
Listen, no one can know that the president is dead. If word gets out, Bridges is finished. Now, what happened here does not leave this room. Do you understand?
Yes, Director. But there's still the matter of the body. Without corpse disposal.
We've got that covered. Sam, before she died, the President made a contract with you.
What are you talking about?
As a member of Bridges, you're gonna work with the rest of us to rebuild America.
You think you can recruit me? Like she tried to?
Well, she succeeded. Look at your wrist. If that's not symbolic, I don't know what is.
Director, the cancer spread throughout her entire body. Harvesting organs is out of the question, and there is no need for an autopsy. Her body needs to be cremated before she necrotizes.
And if we don't, this place will turn into another crater.
What do you want me to do?
We don't have any porters right now. And the CD team you went into the field with are dead. But the President's body has to be burned.
The road from Capital Knot City to the incinerator was compromised in the void out. Now, the only way there is on foot, through the mountains. But the chiral density there is off the chart. It's gotta be BT's.
This job has requirements. Tombs. Repatriate.
So me? Why?
Sam, you're already on the clock.
Now get it done, Sam Porter Bridges. Can I have a moment? President Strand believed in American Reconstructionism. She worked tirelessly to bring the nation together again. And without her, there would be no Bridges. She deserves a funeral with full honors. But we can't give her that. If she dies, America dies.
Without her, Bridges will cease to be.
Listen. Her cremation must be carried out with the utmost secrecy.
Even if we pull it off, what then? Who's gonna take her place? Face it, America's history.
Sam, America isn't dead yet.
He just said that it dies if Bridget dies.
She may be lost to us, but we still have an America worthy of the presidency.
Sorry, what?
Let's not get into it now. What matters is that we're going to finish your mother's work and rebuild America as she intended. That's the reason Bridges exists. So take the first step, Sam, and deliver the president's body to the incinerator.
If we don't all come together again, humanity will not survive. You're the one I wanted to send, Sam. Time's running out. I love you, Sam. I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
The facilities to the southwest. Remember that you'll be passing through BT territory.
We built the incinerator way up in the mountains so that the chiral matter in the smoke wouldn't reach the city. It won't be easy carrying a body up there.
We'll be monitoring you around the clock. If anything comes up, we'll offer you support via the cufflinks. Sam, this is Die Hard. Dead men explained how to use the cuffs, right? Use them to check the location of the incinerator.
Sure thing. It's not exactly going to be a walk in the park, but thankfully it's just down the road, I suppose. There was a road, at one point at least, but we blew it up in the last video, so it seems we're going to have to take the scenic route. In fact, you can see the crater down there at the bottom. Just as a reminder of how our last outing from Central Knot City went, I suppose.
Sam, I don't think I need to remind you, but every minute counts when transporting corpses for disposal. 48 hours following cardiac arrest, they go necro and become a fresh BT to make our lives hell.
So there's our first concept, I suppose, explained as thoroughly as it's going to be for now. When a body isn't incinerated, it releases chiralium into the air, and this chiralium attracts what are called BTs, the ghosts that attacked us and our friends in the last video. We can avoid this by incinerating a body before it goes necro, or necrotizes, after about 48 hours. Now, we don't actually have to abide by that time limit right now. We've got all the time in the world to deliver President Strand to her final resting place. But it's a good thing to keep in mind because it may actually become relevant later.
President Bridget Strand was the symbol of American Reconstructionism. Even with the country shattered and its people scattered to the four winds, she never stopped believing they could be reunited. People held on to their hope that America would rise again because they believed in her. We believe that this country can be rebuilt. America lives on, together with Bridget's undying spirit.
Let's hope so, at least. I guess this is the first step of what I'm sure is going to be a very, very long road to said reconstruction. I find it interesting that they imply that there are multiple factions in the world of Death Stranding. Those that care about Reconstructionism, and those that do not. Sam doesn't seem all that interested. To be honest, it kind of seems like he doesn't care one way or the other. But who knows?
Have a pleasant journey.
Maybe this is just a push he needs to make him care. Or, I don't know, at least inspire him to help out. He seems like a pretty lonely guy. Or lonesome, at least. Maybe he enjoys the solitude. I guess we'll find out going forward. Because Norman Reedus, he's got a lot of incidental dialogue in this game as we're running around. Now, the topographical map is actually pretty interesting, because if we hold the touchpad on our DualShock 4 PlayStation controller, we can rotate it. And I mean physically rotate the controller to rotate the topographical map and get a little better view of the elevation. Which is neat. That's a really neat feature. And it's also going to help us plan our route.
Yeah, just like that.
Have a feeling going straight up the middle is going to behoove us here. So let's follow the stream. And let's ruminate on the fact that we are carrying our dead presidential mother to an incinerator to prevent her from becoming a ghost that causes nuclear explosions. And this may sound a little silly to you, but believe me, by the end of this, Death Stranding is going to make it sound a lot less strange. Or, I guess at least a little bit easier for us to swallow.
First of March, it's clear to me there's something that's uncomforting. Your body is away with me, but I'm exactly where I wanna be. but I'm a long way from home.
I know your voice, I know your face. This is something I cannot replace. Give me hope and give me doubt. Well, I loved you then, but I don't love you now. I'm a long way from home. 'Cause we're a long way from home.
Now listen out, don't walk away.
I've got nothing more to say.
Can you see it in my dying face?
You're acting like I care.
Now is there anything that I can do?
If there was, would we be singing?
But you're a part of me and I'm a part of you. Yes, you're a part of me and I'm a part of you. Yes, you're a part of me and I'm a part of you. Yes, you're a part of me and I'm a part of you.
Well, that was a lovely musical interlude. I can never bring myself to talk over those, or at least to talk over them as little as possible, because they kind of speak for themselves in a way. The game kind of speaks for itself a lot of the time, which is nice, and not just because it makes my job commentating easier. And hey look, a ladder. From that Igor guy. Remember? Corpse disposal? He got eaten by that big bastard. Which I'm kind of hoping doesn't happen to us. Because we are straying a little bit close to that BT territory, which I will gracefully avoid going this way instead of the straightforward approach. The terrain looks a little bit more inhospitable than the topographical map implied. But the good news is, our Odor deck has a third function, in that it pings all structures that are nearby. As you can see up here, there are a few ladders, which should make getting in a little bit easier. And in fact, there are actually 3 ways to get to the incinerator. A really, really long route that the game probably doesn't want you to take. This route, which is probably the easiest, and one over by the waterfall on the left, which requires a little bit more grunt work from Sam. I chose this way because I feel like it's as good a time as any to show you what happens when you walk up steep hills carrying heavy loads. You can see Sam is struggling a little bit. It turns out that our mother's corpse serves multiple purposes, not just thematically, but also as a tutorial for what happens when Sam has to carry stuff that's heavier than his back can handle. When you approach your weight limit, Sam moves a little slower, he walks a little heavier, and it's a bit harder in general to control him when you, oh I don't know, jump off a ladder and go stumbling everywhere. If you keep it to mostly a straight line though, only turn when you have to, even the heaviest loads can become a little bit more bearable. Ladders and ropes work, I mean, pretty much as you would expect. Ropes are pretty interesting, though. They have multiple functions, not just for scaling up steep cliffs, but also for keeping your balance when going through stuff like rivers or other terrain where it may be hard to stand upright. You can plop a rope on one side and then grab onto the rope and ford the river that way, which will allow you to, keep your footing just a little bit easier now that you got something to hold on to. There it is.
So that's the place, huh?
Looks like it. And on the horizon over there, you can see the result of our last journey to the incinerator. If we head over there, we'll get a little bit of dialogue from Deadman, implying that a very not insignificant chunk of Central Knot City was lost in the explosion, which is kind of a shame. I imagine that it's probably a chain reaction kind of thing. That crater over there is way, way larger than void-out craters, as they're called, are generally going to be when we see them elsewhere. It's a thematic crater. It's an important crater. Started off this whole nonsense. Sorta. But the good news is it's almost over. After this, Sam can get back to his solitude, delivering across mountains on his motorcycle, and ignoring the state of the world as it falls apart around him. I imagine no small number of people probably feel that same way. But unfortunately for Sam, I got a feeling you can't live in a bubble forever. And I told you Death Stranding was about to get a lot more complicated, and boy, I wasn't lying. It would be too easy if this game were just about walking to and from your destination. No, Death Stranding's got a lot of tricks up its sleeve, as it turns out. First and foremost, just because we're incinerating the body doesn't mean that we're not going to still release the chiralium into the air.
Is climbing rapidly. Heavy timefall is imminent. Get back here, now.
Sam, burn the other cargo while you're there.
What's this?
BB-28. It's the unit Igor was assigned. It was hooked up to you when we found you in the crater.
But why is it here?
Because it's flagged for disposal. Central Knot's gone, and our headquarters along with it. Because that thing didn't do its job. It's all in Igor's logs.
But it's still alive.
It can't be repaired, and it can't survive outside the pod. Pity it if you want, but the decision has been made. It has to go. The director approved the order.
density is still increasing.
My status is fucked. There's tons of them.
Must be from the bodies we couldn't get up to the incinerator in time. Comes with the territory, I'm afraid.
Can you sit out the rain?
No. They're closing in on my position. I have to move before they realize I'm in here.
Sam, if one of those things eats you, it'll trigger a void out. You'll come back, sure, but the surrounding area will still be a crater.
I got an idea. Start, you shit. Maybe you are defective. That's it. Do your thing.
Sam, this is a sneaking mission.
Keep low. Move cautiously.
Good idea. And in fact, we're going to need to move cautiously because, well, just like Sam said at the beginning of all this nonsense, he can't actually see BTs, he can just sense them. And that is, I guess, enough for now.
Dumbass.
All we need to do is stop every few steps so that they appear within our senses, here represented by these ambiguous floating shapes, and not walk directly into any of them. But there is, of course, a twist. Couldn't be easy. BTs have a very, very good sense of hearing, because it's not like they can see us. And unfortunately, that means that if we get too close to any of them, we have to hold our breath. Of course, that's not going to stop them from hearing our movement, but Sam moves slow when you're holding your breath anyway. So as long as we swerve around them real slow-like, we shouldn't upset anyone. But of course, you can't hold your breath for too long, because if you do, Sam will start coughing. And I probably don't need to tell you that that's a little bit suboptimal, let's say, when you're trying to be sneaky and stealthy and quiet. But the good news is, all we have to do is make it back to the ladder. And if we can make it back to the ladder without, oh, I don't know, accidentally walking directly underneath one of these horrible monsters, we'll be home free. And by the way, did I mention that BTs can move? So this isn't all bad. Things may look a little bit dire here, but as long as we don't lose our balance, we will be okay. Everything is fine. Just need to make it to the edge of this little tar pit, and then we are home free. Now please get out of here, Sam. This place is a little crowded for my liking. Not really a people person, that Sam Porter Bridges. Sheesh. And now we're covered in handprints, too. As if that weren't bad enough that we got all grabbed on by the Gribblies. They left their mark on us. And believe me, you don't want to know what happens if you get dragged down by them when you get sucked into one of those tar pits. Or perhaps you do want to know, in which case, well, I guess you're just gonna have to wait, because pro gamer C. Jacobs was able to escape with his life. It's actually really hard to get out of there without getting caught by the BTs at some point. Given that we are right next to that crater, I can see why there would be so many of them in this area. Thankfully, we are never, under any circumstance, going to have to return to this area, and that makes it all the more sweet when we can say goodbye to the BT zone. With the help of our fancy pants new BB, I guess. And now it's time to exhale, everybody. We are out of danger. I mean, the rain's not over, but we're out of danger. And as Sam calms back down here and his stamina returns to normal, we can take a sip of our Monster Energy Canteen, which is not a joke. It actually really is a Monster Energy Canteen to restore any stamina we may have lost. Drink deep, buddy, you earned it. I love that sense of relief when you hear that almost angelic sounding stinger. It's like a breath of fresh air. Now let's get back home, shall we? It's a little detail. But I like that the stream we waded through a moment ago washed all of the handprints off our butt. Those BTs, man, they have no sense of personal space whatsoever. Something I think you will come to understand very well as the Let's Play moves forward. Welcome back to Capital Knot City, everybody.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. All clear.
Just you.
Welcome,
You're
Sam Porter Bridges.
me.
And I will see you all next time, as our journey really gets started, and I bring in some guests to keep us from getting too lonely, because we have a very, very long journey ahead of us.
Sam, come back to the distribution center. Check the location on your compass.
And I'd like you to keep this in mind. What we've just seen is daily life for these people. Porters like Sam. BTs and BT zones are just a facet of the world they live in. Every corpse has to be incinerated like we just incinerated Bridget's. And with that in mind, I can see how people might be a little bit stressed out about this whole Reconstructionism thing.
It's a miracle either of you made it back. When someone with dooms hooks up to a BB, your feelings and memories cause feedback, like with a speaker. It amplifies fears and stress, and runs the risk of taking you to a place from which you will not return. I'm sorry, but this BB has been pushed beyond its limits. Disposal is the only option.
Sam, get cleaned up and come to the president's office. We need to talk.
Sunset, the day is ending. Let that yawn out. There's no pretending.
Interesting memories that BB has there. I wish Mads Mikkelsen was my dad. That would be pretty cool. Although it did seem like he was in a spot of trouble there. We'll probably get more of those memory bits and bobs as we connect with the BB more. It's a cute kid. I mean, it's not a kid, it's not really even alive, but you know what I mean. It's adorable. It doesn't seem all that bothered by living its whole life in a tiny little pod. And plus, it did help us out back there. So that was very kind of it. And I guess that's mission accomplished, huh? It wasn't without problems. And Sam probably didn't expect this delivery to be so personal. But maybe it brought him a little bit of closure. Or maybe it just made him feel a little more empty inside. I don't know. Maybe we'll hear it from his mouth specifically, and then we'll know for sure. I'll see you next time, when we get back to our business of being a porter and stop all this world-saving adventure nonsense.
Sam, I thought I told you dooms and BBs were a dangerous combination. Huh, perhaps a shower is in order. You're still covered in chiralium. Don't want the president to see you like that.
The hell you talking about? She's dead.
You're upset. Is this about BB-28?
Go fuck yourself. I'm not your errand boy.
Well, in any event, it seems it owes you its life.
No, we owe the kid our lives. You too.
As you say, I shall look after it. Give my regards to the president.